Today, we have an important and eye-opening topic to discuss: the reality of Africa's persistent poverty, unveiling the harsh truth. Poverty is a complex issue that affects millions of people around the world, but Africa's struggle with poverty often takes center stage. In this video, we'll delve deep into the underlying causes, the impact on individuals and communities, and the efforts being made to address this pressing issue. So let's get started. Number 6. Understanding Africa's poverty. To truly comprehend the reality of Africa's persistent poverty, we must first understand its roots. Historical factors, including colonialism and the exploitation of resources, have left a lasting impact on many African nations. Africa's history has been deeply impacted by colonialism, where European powers established control over vast territories, exploiting resources and labor for their benefit. The legacy of colonial rule continues to influence many aspects of African economies and societies today. Boundaries drawn without consideration for ethnic and cultural differences have sometimes led to conflict and instability. The uneven distribution of wealth, corruption, and lack of proper infrastructure have further exacerbated the problem. It's important to note that Africa is not a monolithic entity. The continent is home to diverse cultures, languages, and economies. While some African nations have made remarkable progress in recent years, others continue to grapple with extreme poverty. Even after gaining independence, many African nations face challenges in distributing wealth equitably among their citizens. Corruption and mismanagement of resources have hindered development efforts, diverting funds meant for public services into the hands of a few. The wealth generated from industries like oil, mining, and agriculture has not always translated into improved living conditions for the majority. Lack of transparency and accountability in government spending have perpetuated income inequality and hindered poverty alleviation efforts. Insufficient infrastructure, including roads, electricity, and communication networks, has hindered economic growth and access to basic services. Rural areas where a significant portion of the population resides often lack the infrastructure necessary to support agricultural productivity and economic diversification. Number 5. Unveiling the harsh realities. Let's uncover some of the harsh realities that individuals and communities in Africa face due to persistent poverty. Lack of access to basic needs. Millions of Africans lack access to clean water, proper sanitation, and adequate health care. This results in preventable diseases, high infant mortality rates, and reduced life expectancy. Education challenges. Education is a powerful tool for escaping poverty, but unfortunately, many African children lack access to quality education. Limited resources, overcrowded classrooms, and a shortage of trained teachers hinder their learning opportunities. Economic disparities. Economic inequality is a stark reality in Africa. A small elite often controls a significant portion of a country's wealth, leaving the majority struggling to make ends meet. This inequality perpetuates the cycle of poverty, agriculture, and food insecurity. Agriculture is a crucial sector in many African economies, yet small-scale farmers often lack access to modern technology, proper irrigation, and markets. This leads to food insecurity, malnutrition, and vulnerability to changing climates. Healthcare challenges. Limited access to healthcare facilities and a shortage of medical professionals result in inadequate healthcare services for many Africans. The burden of diseases such as HIV, AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis remains high. Rural versus urban disparities. Rural areas often bear the brunt of poverty, lacking infrastructure, employment opportunities, and access to services. This drives migration to urban centers, putting strain on already overburdened cities. Number 4. Initiatives and solutions. While the challenges are immense, There are numerous initiatives and solutions being implemented to combat Africa's persistent poverty. Microfinance and entrepreneurship. Microfinance institutions provide small loans to individuals who lack access to traditional banking. This allows them to start small businesses, generate income, and improve their quality of life. Education for all. NGOs and governments are working to improve educational opportunities for children in Africa. Efforts include building schools, training teachers, and providing scholarships to underprivileged students. Agricultural innovation. Agricultural advancements such as drought-resistant crops and modern farming techniques are helping small-scale farmers increase their yields and income. Access to markets is also being improved through better transportation and communication infrastructure. Healthcare interventions. Various organizations are focusing on combating diseases like malaria and HIV/AIDS through prevention campaigns, access to affordable medications, and healthcare training for local communities. Empowerment of women. Women play a crucial role in African societies, and empowering them economically and socially can lead to significant positive changes. Efforts are being made to improve women's access to education, healthcare, and income-generating opportunities. Number 3, the role of international community. The international community also plays a pivotal role in addressing Africa's persistent poverty. Foreign aid, investments, and partnerships are essential components of this effort. Foreign aid and assistance. Many developed countries provide foreign aid to African nations to support development projects, improve healthcare, and enhance education. However, the effectiveness of aid can vary, and a focus on sustainability solutions is crucial. Investment and trade. Foreign direct investment, FDI, and fair trade practices can contribute significantly to Africa's economic growth. FDI brings capital, technology, and expertise to local industries, creating job opportunities and fostering economic diversification. Fair trade practices that ensure reasonable prices for African products in international markets can empower local farmers and artisans. By supporting local businesses, the international community can contribute to poverty reduction and long-term economic sustainability. Number 2, the way forward. As we conclude this discussion, it's important to emphasize that Africa's journey to overcoming persistent poverty requires a multifaceted approach. Government accountability. Governments in African nations must prioritize poverty reduction through transparent policies, efficient resource allocation, and the eradication of corruption. It's crucial for governments to allocate resources efficiently, tackling corruption, and create an enabling environment for entrepreneurship and innovation. By involving citizens in decision-making processes, governments can ensure that policies are aligned with the needs and aspirations of the people. Community empowerment. Communities themselves play a crucial role in their development. By actively participating in decision-making processes and taking ownership of local projects, they can create sustainable change. Engaging communities in the planning, implementation, and monitoring of projects ensures that solutions are contextually relevant and effective. Number 1, conclusion. As we wrap up our discussion of the reality of Africa's persistent poverty, it's clear that the issue is complex and deeply rooted. However, with concerted efforts from governments, organizations, and individuals around the world, positive changes can be made. It's our hope that this video serves as a reminder that everyone has a role to play in building a more just and equitable world. Africa's persistent poverty calls for action that goes beyond sympathy and awareness. It calls for tangible steps, investments, and policies that address the root causes and contribute to sustainable development. Each of us has a role to play, whether it's advocating for fair trade practices, supporting education initiatives, or engaging in meaningful partnerships. Small actions can collectively create significant impacts. The fight against poverty is not a journey that Africa faces alone. It's a journey of global solidarity, where the international community stands side by side with African nations to tackle the multifaceted challenges that perpetuate poverty. Thank you for joining us, and remember, by staying informed and engaged, we can all contribute to a brighter future. Please subscribe to Travel the World. Thank you for watching.